その Jman だ。Yo, how's it going, everyone? Jman here yet again, and I'm very happy to be back. You know, yesterday I published that long-form channel introduction, and I got pretty emotional from the overwhelming reception that this channel has received. Not gonna lie, I didn't think these niche little fellas and me wanting to just show them off would be this much of entertainment for so many people, and it really means a lot, so thank you for the continued support. So, in response to all that positivity, I told myself that as soon as this special fella came in, we were going to do a live unboxing. Today is very special. We're going to be showcasing, well, not the whole line. I kind of want to call it a preview because I think these little fellas up in the front are so amazing that each and every one deserves their own video. And I'm definitely going to make that happen. A lot of the videos that I've seen for these reviews of these fellas are very old, almost 10 years old. And I plan on completing the whole collection. I already ordered Black Hole and Pentagon, but they won't be here for a few weeks because they're very hard to find, sorry. But give it some time. Today is a Robin Mask Day, and I'm so excited. So if you're here still, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment for more. Shonen Tachi.
Alright guys, so today's video is obviously going to be a more straight to the point one, since we won't be covering a whole line. We'll just be covering an individual figure. I think it'll be a lot quicker. So I just wanted to show you guys him in the bubble wrap real quick. We're gonna cut back to him being out of the wrap, obviously, and then we'll take our review from there. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so this is Robin in the plastic, and I just gotta say, he looks sensational. I mean, look at this guy. That is Robin Mask, like to a T, man. Holy crap, and I just want to say I appreciate this packaging. This figure is very old, so I might as well get into it. The taking a Micro Man, sorry. The Revoltech Mini Yamaguchi line, right, which many know as the Kyoto Revoltech Yamaguchi, right? Those are the full-scale figures. I believe I have a couple of them, if I can show you guys, really. We've got the Revoltech Bakugo and the Revoltech Deku. Oh, let me hold that properly for the audience. Yeah, we've got these guys. I really like these guys. I'm not gonna lie. They're not bad at all. I think they have amazing dynamicism, and one of my favorite things about the Yamaguchis is they have these stellar accessories. I mean, look at Deku. Holy crap. I've seen many Deku figures. I don't want to start an internet debate, but I don't even think, I mean, the Vigilante Deku looks fire, that one I'll admit. But in terms of base Deku, to me, this is the best looking one. And then Bakugo, the new SH Bakugo looks great, but I just love this face. I love the expressions that, you know, the Revoltech Bakugo comes with. And I really just love the effects. But this is not a, you know, video about them. I'll do that another time. This is just, you know, me trying to showcase the Yamaguchi. You know, every series I feel like you have a character where you just love that character a lot. You know what I mean? For me, Robin is that guy. Alright. Robin Mask. Look at this guy, man. Sorry I'm so quiet, like I'm just mesmerized myself. Sheesh. Beautiful paint job. Unicorn head accessories, Anoato stuff. This is his family's heirloom. I can't see what that one is, but we're gonna take him out right now. Looks really nice. Little corner ring post. I'm gonna get into that when I talk about the accessories. Yeah. Yamaguchi, Micro Yamaguchi, Kinnikuman, Revoltech Mini number 9, Robin Mask. This is very nice. An up close look. 俺は Wolfsman. 人呼んで Fighting Computer. So for those who don't know the lore, right, because this channel is made not just for Kinnikuman fans, but for people who don't know Kinnikuman at all and just like anime, or don't even like anime who just want to get into cool shit. Anyways, the point being is that Robin Mask, right, his story very briefly, is he is a warrior from England, right? And pretty much he's a very proud and noble warrior. Comes from, his last name, as funny as it sounds, is literally Mask. And he comes from the Mask Dynasty, right? While I'm yapping, we can unbox. Comes from the Mask Dynasty, right? And, you know, he pretty much comes from a long line of champions. And one day, those long line of champions gets dethroned, sorry, by our lovable, bumbling hero over here by total accident. And it sets this guy on a path of carnage. Which is very ironic for the character because he, as I mentioned in my music video, he's a very big family man, right? He's a very big family man, loves his wife, loves his son. He will fight to the death for them. But that was the one time in his lifetime where I guess I must have jumbled up the box a bit. We still got all the plastic on too, sheesh. I'm gonna have to take all the plastic off camera because that is a bit of a pain, but let's get a fresh view. But yeah, long story short, Kinnikuman beats him for the first time, causes him to crash out. He comes back, you know, all wounded pride style. You know, Vegeta got it from Robin. Hate to say it, but it's true. Anyways, comes back wounded pride style, and then wants to fight Kinnikuman again. Kinnikuman beats him a second time. Dude fully crashes out to the point where he's like, all right, I'm not gonna fight you anymore. I'm gonna go recruit somebody else to not even fight you, but to literally kill you. Thus creating the team of student and master, Robin Mask and Wolfsman. But, you know, I don't want to get into details too much because I would like you guys to experience the series. Robin assumes a different identity known as the Barracuda. So even though it's very obvious to the audience, in my opinion, that it's Robin, it's not known it's Robin until a certain point. But yeah, that's the lore. Back to the review. So let me take this plastic off and we'll get back to it. Anyways, back to Robin. So I went through the trouble of taking out all the fresh plastic on him. So this is how he looks straight out of the gate. One of the heads did like flip around in the box while I was, you know, messing with it. But anyways, here's Robin. Hopefully we're getting this. It looks good on my end, so I hope it's good on your end. He is, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think he might be the best one in the line. The only one that might come close is maybe Kinnikuman Great, but there's a reason I'm gonna get into that. I think Robin is better than this guy, but this guy, if you can get him, get him. Again, different interview. I mean, not different interview, different review, different day, but they're great. Anyways, Robin, I think might be the best one. Let's take him out of here. Well, before we do that, let's take a look at the box, right? So here we have his, remember I told you he lost to Kinnikuman? Once he lost to Kinnikuman, that wounded his pride. This is like a signature appearance in both the manga and the anime of when Suguru wounded his pride, right? So it's supposed to be Wounded Robin, right? And then this is from when he fought Kinnikuman Mariposa. Go check out my music video on that. It's when Robin fought Mariposa. It's supposed to be this staff, the Anawado staff, short lore lesson. It's basically a family heirloom that spits hot fire, and it's really cool. And one of the bad guys in Kinnikuman, when they were both kids, stole it from Robin. And then Kawinki Dink, many years later, they reunite as adults and they fight over it, right? This is the head that pretty much is the fusion of his helmet and this. And it lets him pull off crazy special moves, which if you've been watching Muscle Brothers, you can see some of what these characters can pull off. So yeah, nice little corner pole right here. I really appreciate these. So my comment about these, it's not necessarily a negative, but Suguru, the initial release, right? He did not come with that. I don't think he's a bad figure at all. I actually love this guy, but I'm gonna show you some comparisons from his release, the first release, to Robin's, you know, release, and show you guys why I think he is the best of them all so far. I do have Black Hole and Pentagon coming in. They were the last to be released of the Kinnikuman, so I think that they'll be the best, but we'll see. Anyways, back to Robin. So let's take him out of here so you can get a better close look at this. So the point that I was trying to make was Suguru lacks accessories, and it seems like their main ambition with the rest of the cast was to amend that and give us a lot of accessories. So I love this. This pretty much works like as a stand. You put that on here. I mean, I can show you guys really quick. Pretty much plug that onto there, and it works as a ring post. So that way you can either get a cool, like, you know, Jman, Robin Mask. You can get like a cool little pose like that. Have them posted up. Oops. Have them posted up on the ropes. You know what I mean? Or if you want to pull off. This is key for one of the characters, Pentagon, which we're going to be covering another day. But pretty much shimmy this into his foot. It's nice and tight. I really appreciate how secure it feels. And you can recreate some pretty cool looking poses, I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely gonna be having fun with that. Getting it to balance. Okay, it's just a trick to the balancing act. I mean, it makes sense, but try to see. When I do the shorts, or when I do the showcase too, you'll see. That looks cool though. You get a top-down view of it. That looks sick. That looks sick. I'm very happy, and this feels very nice. Very richly detailed. I'm not even trying to throw shade at this ring, because this ring is nice, but look at this. This is like an actual ring post. Look, it even got little wrinkles in the cushioning of the post. That's crazy. This is really cool. Let's leave that right there, actually. We're gonna use that. So down to Robin. I already showed you the accessories. The one other thing I didn't show you is that these guys, let me try to cover this, that way it doesn't fall, and it fell anyway. They come with an extra stand on top of that stand. So they come with two stands, and they come with an army of hands, right? So, all right, well, luckily none of the faces fell out. All right, back to Robin. Anyways, so Robin mask. Let's take a look at him. I just want to say I think this figure looks phenomenal, and quality-wise, he feels like an upgrade again from the previous releases, which I wasn't expecting. But his paint job compared to Suguru, I feel like they did a better job at shading the muscles. Not that Suguru's not great, but this time it's like they went extra hard on it. And I don't even mean in a bad way. I just mean like, you know, in some areas it's a little strong. It's strong right here, but I understand the effect they were going for, so it's fine. Nice silver paint on the trunks right there. You can see these little, I really love this. This just feels like you're holding a real life mini anime wrestler, right? Don't mind this gap on the armor. That's because he has a gimmick, which you saw on the box already, but I'll show you another picture really quick, which is to remove the armor, right? So we're definitely gonna be showing that off. Really love, again, all that red and silver. They did a really good job with this paint job. I think to me, paint job is probably one of the most important of the figure, right behind articulation or right in front. I don't know, they're all in the same group. It's super important, man. And I think for Robin, it's pretty damn good. This is his manga color, or technically his new anime color as well, but this is the usual. I say the usual because I read the manga. I mean, not that I don't love the anime too, but you know what I'm trying to say. I say the usual is what I like to call standard flavor, and then this is what I like to call original flavor, original flavor. So I wish they had more of these cool ass figures in this color, but I guess that would just require someone like me to buy an extra one and then get it customized, which would probably greatly value the value of that Robin. But if you're gonna get the figure customized, why would you sell it in the first Anyways, let's get into articulation now that we've gotten a good look at his paint job. I do want to show you the visor again real quick. That could focus, please. Kamura-kun. Thank you. All right. So I really love, and it's crazy because this dude, can you guys believe these are 3-inch figures? Insane. This dude has these amazing, I don't want to call them whiskers, and I don't want to call it a mustache, but clearly the intention behind these the edge of his visor or his mask was to be a stash, because in the sequel, he ends up growing this out and it's funny. I mean, it looks just as badass, but he gets like giant whiskers. And his father, like his fathers and grandfathers, this little edge of the helmet is always like shaped. It's obviously still cool looking knight armor. It's not facial hair, but it's shaped in the essence of facial hair. So I like to think that Robin is a macho man who has little sideburns. But anyways, it looks great. That's my point. And the whole figure just looks phenomenal. So let's get into articulation. So one thing I want to mention is that, remember I said he was an improved release? He doesn't feel like he has any of the issues that the other figures have. Like as soon as I was handling him, he feels sturdy. He doesn't feel loose, right? Those are two, I'm not saying the other ones feel loose, but Warsman feels like he feels great. Not that he's not sturdy. Let me watch what I say, because this is gonna set the zeitgeist for these figures for a little while. Not that he's not great. He's very sturdy. More so, you have to watch yourself when handling him due to the previous issue I mentioned where you could wrinkle the trunks, and then you also have to watch it because his left claw, you can even see how it wiggled right there. It sometimes, you know, when you get a little too crazy with it and you're not being mindful, it could just fly off. So one thing I mentioned before in yesterday's video was I like figures that feel safe. I like figures that feel comfortable to use, and I like figures that, you know, for the most part, you don't have to think in the back of your head, oh my God, is it gonna mess up or am I gonna break something? You know what I mean? So there's that. Anyways, yeah, so he has that similar joint to the other Revolve minis, where the one thing I will say, and this is the same thing as all the Revolves, because of the way that the materials of the trunks are made, when you want to get these legs up, that looks really nice. You have to be mindful, because you see how it just bent in right there? That's the proper way, but you just got to still be careful because it creates a small wrinkle. And then, you know, that wrinkle is going to be there. Obviously, they're wrestlers, so you're going to twist them up. But I'm just letting you know that way you don't get the trunk caught up underneath the thigh like I've seen a lot of other reviewers do, and then mess up the whole figure, right? Because you don't want to mess the figure up if you bought it for a reason, right? So this double jointed knee feels very nice personally. I honestly think that this knee is, even though the range of movement seems to be, on mine at least, seems to be a little limited. Not sure why. Yeah, not sure. Why is that doing that? See if I could adjust it. That's very strange that mine is doing that. That is definitely an issue though. I'm not gonna try to lie about it. I'm not gonna lie to my audience. I don't do that. That's definitely an issue. Let me know in the comments below if any figure collectors who come across this video know how to fix an issue with joints like that. You can remove the leg, so I know it's something that I can fix, but let me know. Anyways, it's the ab crunch. Pretty good ab crunch. Really good forward ab crunch. A little bit of a gap, but that's okay. He has the armor to cover it. Really nice for like a, oh my God, you beat the crap out of me. Kind of, you know? Nice shoulder articulation. So I wanted to mention this now because you're already gonna see it. You're already seeing it. He has full shoulder articulation. It's not like he doesn't. It's just you gotta be mindful because, again, he has armor, right? So whenever you're like getting around and doing these kind of poses and stuff, you just kind of gotta work it, or let me say, use the word handle. You have to handle it around this cuff, but it still works fine. You can still do like, oh, bridge. You know what I mean? Totally fine. So, pretty happy about that. I honestly, when I was buying the figure, that was one thing I was worried about. I'm like, bro, can he seriously not do tower bridge? You know, in his, you know, armor. Like, what the heck? But he's pretty great. He's pretty great. So I don't want this review to be too long. I feel like I already covered the main parts, which was accessories, paint job, articulation. I just want to cover one more gimmick before, you know, we do the comparisons and sign off, which is, first things first, I wanted to say this as a highlight. The other Kinnikuman figures, the Revolve minifigures, they have this issue, or I call it an issue, maybe other collectors don't feel like an issue, where they come, don't worry about that, they come with different faces, right? And Warsman is a great example of the classic Warsman smile, where he puts like a really big, red, crazy, creepy smile, and I love it. It looks super cool. You have to like heat up the figure, right, with like a hair dryer or something, and, you know, pop it off and then pop it back on, which, you know, I don't want to say it's the worst thing ever. Maybe other collectors disagree, but personally speaking, when it comes to using these things, I like to say, well, what's the best way to do it? Just make it easy for me, make it simple. And Robin luckily falls under that umbrella, which I'm very happy about. And look, now I can have Wounded Pride Robin. And it's great. I love this shit. This shit's fine, man. That's what I want. I want simple, easy to use figures. All you have to do is pop the face off. So you can take the horn. Horn's actually a perfect place. Put your thumb there, put your head behind the neck, right? And then pop the face off. Using figures is all about how you handle them. So I hate when reviewers break stuff and then they blame the figure. It's like, bro, you gotta know how to handle what you're using. You gotta be gentle. That's why I like figures. I feel like, especially, you know, we all work as people. If you're someone who works and you work out and do all these other things, you have a lot of times where you use force. Use a lot of force for things. And what I like about figures is it forces you to relinquish yourself. Anyways, so this is how you take off the armor. I actually love this armor, by the way. I want to mention this really quick. I thought the armor was going to be like some cheap piece of plastic. This is not. It's actually, well, also beautifully painted. It's a really nice, reflexive, rubbery material, but I don't know what kind of, how I would describe this. It has like a nice, solid, matte finish, but this just feels very high quality, which is why I thought it was going to be a cheap piece of plastic. But then when I bent it, I noticed it's very malleable. It feels very, very nice. And technically this top part does come off too, but I don't want to take the whole thing off. I kind of just prefer doing it like this, where you just kind of take his mask off and then slide his armor off, right? There we go. I'm sorry, it only seems difficult because I'm trying to like keep it within focus of the camera. If I can just do it myself, then it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna push that down. Boom, armor off. So this is supposed to be, Robin's whole gimmick is supposed to be like when he takes his armor off, that, let's try out the other head. When he takes his armor out, that he's pretty much like powered up. It's like his powered up state. Kind of like, so I'm not gonna spoil too much, but in Kinnikuman, Kinnikuman has this whole inner strength ability called the Kajiba no Kusoshikara, right? Or Kajiba no Kusoshikara, whatever you want to call it. It's basically the burning inner strength, right? Also known as the ultimate muscle, also known as the fire, right? There's a lot of different translations for it. And it's like his Zenkai Boost Super Saiyan mode for Kinnikuman. Robin Mask was so popular that they're like, yo, we have to find a way to give him an equivalent. So instead of giving him an anime power-up back then in the early first run, they said to themselves, Unicorn Head. They said to themselves, well, you know what? Why don't we just make it so that whenever he takes off his armor, he's officially full power? So where do you think Goku gets that from? Kinnikuman. Anyways, move on to Kinnikuman Nisei with, you know, ultimate muscle, pretty much. his son unlocks this ability called the Maelstrom Power, which is their version of Kajiwa no Kusochikara. And, you know, I gotta admit, it ends up being really cool. I don't care if it's a retcon, it's awesome, and I always welcome more powers for Robin. So, Unicorn Hat, this is pretty much him without the armor. He looks very similar to the Suguru. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're just the same body. Actually, no. Yeah, no, they're not. Well, you got a little silver. You got to watch out for that. It seems a little silver got on the chest. That's okay. I don't really care, but some people care. I don't know. You tell me, guys. I feel like the definition, it's definitely probably the same mold, just slightly altered, because the mold is too close to not be the same. But there's something about, like, if you look in the collarbones and the chest area, look at his inner chest and look at his collars, right? Even his deltoids, his rear delts. You can see, I don't know if I'm crazy. Look at it. You can see a slight difference. It's like Robin is amplified, more pronounced. Strange. Man, I hope I can figure out this leg issue. Definitely gonna post about it online because it's the one thing killing my, if it wasn't for this leg thing, I would have been saying this review is 10 out of 10, but this leg thing is bringing it down to a 9. You know, not like I can't use it, but you want your figure to be great. Anyways, other than that though, you know, I feel like we've covered everything on this figure for the most part. I'm really happy with the Robin mask. I think he looks great. I think he feels great. I think he plays great. I think that in terms of the quality control, seems to be the highest amongst them all. There is one final feature I want to mention that he does have that I didn't show off. So, well, I showed off part of it, I guess, but we took off the chest armor, but you can take off all of the armor. So you can even, oh, not his wrist guards, I'm sorry. Yeah, not his wrist guards. But, no, you actually can take off his wrist guards. I'm sorry. Damn, it's just on there crazy tight. I'm not gonna try to force it right now for the sake of the review. But I can show you, I'm not gonna totally cheat you guys. Let me show you on the foot. So what I like about this is this comes off, but it's the Yamaguchi foot, so you can just take it off like this. This ball peg slides into that foot, okay? And then you could just pop his armor off. So literally all of his armor is removable. You could take this off, take this off, this off. You can't take that off. I mean, I don't know why you would want to, but yeah. So I think it's pretty cool. Honestly, I don't want to say it doubles the value of the figure, just because personally, as a Robin mask fan, for me, I want him to have his armor, right? I mean, to me, that's like part of the appeal of the character. But to other people, if you want to pull off that appearance with him without the armor, the option is there. And we always love options, because options mean you can play with your figures and display your figures in numerous ways. So that was the Revoltech Micro Yamaguchi Robin mask. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And I hope you stay tuned for the next Jman video. And also, right after this, I'm gonna post some photos of Robin and a little bit of the other Micro Yamaguchi line, sorry. And after that, I'm probably gonna try to post up a short for Robin. After I finish recording this, I'm gonna, snap some pics and try to edit up that short. And then at the end of the day, we should have, for you guys to enjoy another Muscle Brothers round 3. So hope you guys have been enjoying all the Jman. Hope you Shonen Tachi. Stay tuned for more, because there's definitely gonna be more. And I'm, very happy that this guy came in. I know I wasn't, losing my mind during the review, but I guess I was just really focused on the Robin, and I think he looks really great. I'm pretty happy with him. My only thing is, before I sign off, if someone out there is watching this, comes across my Kinnikuman videos, can we get a version of this guy, but like this, without the issue with the trunks? I mean, look at his trunks. He doesn't even need the whole freaking extra. He doesn't need that, man. Just give him his signature look. But give me this with this. I need it, man. Like, in my opinion, I like this one more than the other SH Figuarts Robin, right? And I think he looks better, honestly, straight up. I think he looks cooler than the other Robin. And the other Robin SH Figuarts also cannot remove his armor, which that's a big part of the character. So it's a very big shame that they didn't design that figure around that. But luckily we have one that is designed around that. So again, sorry about the long outro, but I just like to yap about Kinnikuman. We'll catch you around another time, and hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, one part I did forget to mention when I was going over the Revoltech Mini Yamaguchi line history. These guys came out from about 2011 to 2014. They retailed for about, what was it? I want to say anywhere between $20 to $30 a piece. Some of them, like Suguru, when in Japan itself, I think were like 15 or 20 bucks, which is insane for the high level of quality that you're getting here, right? I mean, just look at these figures. They're phenomenal, right? My only caveat is, how can the viewer acquire these figures? So the viewer, I think these figures are definitely worth it. However, I definitely also think that, you know, it's gonna cost you kind of, I don't want to say a pretty penny, but especially for their age, people are not exactly selling them for cheap. And especially because of the IP. Again, I mentioned this in the last video, but I noticed that with the Kinnikuman IP, there is a big tendency to, you know, overcharge, I guess, for the merch because it's rare, and obviously 99% of the time it's not in print. Also wanted to mention, this goes here because there's a back peg. So if you saw me, yeah, I was just, see how that clicks? I was fishing for the back peg. So, boom. That looks really good, and I'm glad that that was very easy for the stream. For chat, look at that. Fucking love this guy. Yo, someone help me figure this leg out, and I give this dude a 10 out of 10, bro. But jokes aside, this is really the end of the video. I do genuinely think Robin is fucking phenomenal. I'm very happy with this figure. Overall, definitely gotta say, again, I can't give him a 10 out of 10 because of this weird leg issue that I'm gonna try to get fixed off stream, off camera. Hopefully someone helps me find the issue, the resolution to that. I think it might just be a me thing. It has to be something with this joint being too tight or something. I don't know. But for now, Jman is signing out. This is another one of Jman reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more Shonen Tachi. And I've been very happy with, you know, how the channel's been turning out so far. Thank you guys. So see you around, and I'm gonna do some comparison photos next and some showcase photos next. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Alright everyone, the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's review. Trying to get some more long-form content out there, and I just want to say again, I know I'm going to keep repeating myself, but thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu to everybody who really has just been tuning in and enjoying the content and sharing the content, whether you're from Japan, America, anywhere in the world, whatever gender you identify as, whatever age you are. It's supposed to be a place for warmth, of joy, to share this genre. And you know, I think the world can be a kind of hard place right now. So I think Kinnikuman especially, and the shonen genre overall, can bring a lot of warmth to our hearts. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing this. I love you guys. See you next time. Shonen Tachi.
And the second request I got from one of the viewers was they felt like I didn't show off the Microman's full articulation. So we're just gonna go over it. So we've got a full ball joint on the arms right here. This is actually very nice because even though this is a ball joint, this is also a joint, right? Meaning you can really, especially for a 3-inch figure, you can get some deep grapples, or not even just a grapple, but like, you know, for whatever reason, if you felt as inclined to do so, Kamehameha, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice, right? Legs can get like a full split, similar ball joint to the arms, right? These also can freely pop out. Thighs have a full swivel, like an independent swivel right here. It's nice, and what I like is it feels very secure. The whole figure feels secure. Double jointed knee. Okay. Toes have some crazy articulation. Look at that. You can literally just get full 90-degree with the toe. Camera wants to focus. That's pretty nice. These figures are great. Full ab crunch. Look at this. You can literally ball the dude up. It's great. The articulation on these guys is great. That was very brief. I just, you know, some viewer suggestions from yesterday that, as always, I always like to say I'm open to feedback. I want feedback. It helps me make the videos better, and if the videos get better, they reach more people, which means our community grows, which means we get more Kinnikuman. So I'm down for that. So another thing, this is more of a bonus because it was suggested to me by one of my viewers. I want to show off a quick scale comparison for the Micro Men and, you know, compared to the new Suguru. So in my hand, we have, well, let me not do that. Place him down here. All right, put Robin back there. Okay, we can take you out for now. So this is just to highlight proper size comparison as per the viewer's request. So, boom, Microman next to SH, and then I'm about to toss in Revol Mini. So Revol Mini, there we go. Hopefully that gives our viewers a better sense of scale. And, you know, because I know this was a big request that I got, was to show these fellas off. So there you go. I hope that answers your question, viewers, for the scale comparison. And now let's get back to the Robin.
前回の超人オリンピックで君に敗れた時。おっと掴んだ。